The Countdown Cup is on the horizon, and the Titans were set tough against the defending champion, San Francisco Shock. Could the Titans adapt and play up to their level, or were San Francisco just too much for the Titans to handle? I'm Abby Sherlock. We'll discuss this as well as give you a primer as the Titans prepare for the final tournament of the season before the 2020 playoffs begin. No doubt about it, the Titans were going to be challenged as they found themselves adjusting to the new Genji meta, while also figuring out a composition that capitalizes their playstyle and minimizes the depth that the Shock provide with their diverse hero pool. The Shock would be relying on Smurf and Striker to really get things going. The week before, the Shock were also able to pick up Japanese player Taigo, who has been known in contenders for having strong Genji play, and gives the Shock even more options as the new meta further takes shape. New meta, new opponents, hero pools without the safeguard of Orisa shields. Would all this be simply an unscalable mountain for the Titans? Let's dive into our match recap and take a look.
Discord orb, it's going to be very hard for him to get in, but there's Shockwave beating Striker in a 1v1. That's unexpected.
Dalton, though, losing the one-on-one. The Tayo off on the other end, and Shredlock went pretty deep at the same time. So Vancouver, they get the early pick off on the Tracer side of things, but still in a tough spot down 2.
Yeah, great move by Smurf as well. Keeps pushing Shockwave back out. Now Smurf getting pressured heavily in this bubble, taking a ton of damage, but just barely stays alive, and it's actually Violet getting the next kill.
And that's the mark of a great tank player, right? It's about going in as much as possible, getting out with as little HP as you can. I mean, that it really, you do as much damage as you do, regardless of what your health is. So, moments. Shockwave looking for the early pulse, doesn't quite connect. Meanwhile, Striker off on the other end, goes in, Shredlock falls, and the Shock again, just winning in the neutral game before even the ults come out.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Cole versus Trance, really. Like, there's not much you can do there. Cole has that offensive utility potential.
It feels like Vancouver hasn't had a real team fight here, Jake.
Yeah, they do get the point flip, though, so they are going to be able to earn some percentage and deny that from the Shock. But Smurf, he's doing such a great job holding this Primal. As I say that, I don't love this commitment from Primal. I kind of wish Smurf would let himself die there, or maybe just back off from the aggression. But, oh, if he finds these kills, it's completely worth it, though. A delay on the enemy Zarya. KSA, he's so slow to build that grab because he's been constantly... KSA is going to drop the grab, but Trance is still going. It's kind of a questionable grab.
Barrier in for Vancouver. Everything on the line as they try and turn it, but Striker and Twilight get to the back again. Dalton wasn't able to get much with the blade because of the Transcendence, and again, the Shock just overpowering Vancouver here, Jake. Focus fire hang his way, but they swap targets over the KSA. KSA now in real danger, getting super low, can't go anywhere. Tayo finishes him off.
Violet protected by Twilight, just beats down Shredlock. Shredlock had no follow-up on that dive, it felt like. Just great counter peel from the rest of the Shock, and the Shock just did such a beautiful job there of not only attacking and killing KS base, just deliver orbs downrange. He also has a very early Trance. We'll see if he wants to go aggressive with it. I think he might just like to hold on to it. Rolf on 1 HP does get cut down. Traded for Choi, though.
5 on 5, and here we go again. It's the Smurf show. Just diving into the backline. The judgment's so good. Primal's at the right time when getting low, and I'm just going to bop Sigma all around, take him on out. And look at the progress here, Jake. It's 72% to 0. Flexible ult. Well, Vancouver, they open the early rally, and Karkar just gets assassinated. Tayo and Striker heading on in. Here's the Flux. Vancouver still trying to make something happen. Dalton off the Flux, moving in with the blade. Vancouver, best chance they've had all round long, but it's not over yet. Tayo's still a threat. Striker's coming in from the back, and you've yet to deal with Smurf. So even with Vancouver having a decent engage, there's still, it's a struggle just to get the flip.
Yeah, Striker, he's just going to try and retreat out of this one, reset. Though he's very close to that Trance. Tayo with the blade, and we've seen how Shock love to get aggressive with those ultimates. However, Choi dropping low. Choi cut down by Shockwave. Violet trades it back, though, and Trance Blade still a very viable combo here. Smurf's coming in with the Primal as well, and this got to be the map for the Shock now.
Dalton getting juggled to the back. Not a lot of places to go. Nowhere close.
Now he jumps up early, and he's still going to be passive. Just very much biding his time on Smurf. I actually like this a lot. And when he strikes hard. A brutal dive coming in from all the dive DPS at once. And Smurf's going to eat everyone for breakfast right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect adage of patience paying off, right? Where sometimes Winston, you feel compelled to try.
They're on Smurf.
But now we got Tayo heading on in. KSA sliced up immediately. And this is just great. And also, good showing for Tayo, where we are evaluating Tayo, a new player to the Shock, and consistent performance for a Blade there.
Yeah, now Striker is just going to push into the spawn.
I don't think it's likely at this point, and Smurf hops into the back. Rolf just gets deleted, immediately crushed, no primal required. And the neutral execution right now from the Shock, Jake, is actually insane. How many of these fights are we seeing where they win with either just one ult or...
Constantly reset. You never get a chance to build the energy stacks. You never get a chance to build ultimate.
Transcendence out early for the Shock. Tayo brings out the blade. Dalton's played on the other side, gets stymied by the Transcendence, taken down by Striker. And the Shock just trading out so much more effectively. They force Shredlock to primal under pressure. Final 12 seconds left. The Vancouver Titans, they need to get over to the point. But they're just getting muscled out right now, Jake. Final 6 seconds, Striker and Violet, no mercy. As Smurf chases it down, 1 second. They trigger overtime, but this is anything but ideal for Vancouver as they hope for a miracle, and nope, can't even stand the point. Which I don't think they would be super happy with. But we'll see if Vancouver can punish what could be argued a bit of hubris.
Striker Pharah.
Yeah,
he's got it.
Goes down immediately.
And that's the map.
That's it. Yeah,
Well,
that's it. That's a quick one. It's very fast. Very
Striker just
fast.
trying to get some more hero variants in his playtime, trying to stat pad a little bit. Hey, give me the Mercy Pocket.
2 seconds, so I think you have to almost give us a pass on that. Treadlock super low. Start off this early fight. Focused on down. The Shock still very healthy. Choi under a little bit of pressure, but super dash moves in, takes down 2. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, that was a nice play from Super, but like he didn't even deal any other damage to Rolf. He just died to 1 dash, so that's what gave him that first reset, which means that, you know, the pressure had already, the damage really had already been done by Smurf, by Striker, attacking the back line. We see Shock starting to take the high ground. Karkar forced off, Shredlock down. Oh my gosh. KSA.
Yeah, Zarya stuck in the worst spot possible. Just getting bounced around like a rag doll. Oh, the Shock. Make it look
Take on the
easy.
Twilight, that's something. You still have Trans stuff for Violet rather, so not really a big deal to lose your other support.
Every now and again, Shockwave does something. They go, guys, do something as Vancouver, and then the rest of the team just falls. Graviton dropped on the point. The Shock looking just about unstoppable here. Titans making their last stand. Transcendent soon to be fading, and this is just so tough where it buys them time for another round of players to be coming out, but the Shock are really in a tough spot. And as long as Choi stays alive here, high energy, he's going to come back onto the point and just continue shredding.
Yeah, he's going to have to walk the long way around. There is a rally for Karkar, offering some momentary stabilization, but Violet just standing in the middle, delivering headshot after headshot. Now it's only Twilight for the healing, but Choi, he's still fully charged. He's still dealing incredible DPS in this fight. Probably the most difficult hero in the game to recontest into. Choi, though, he's dropping low. If Choi falls... Wait, is he gonna get a second grab? Please just cap the point, Shark. Don't let Choi get 2 grabs in one fight. He's playing Zarya. This is the most expensive ult in the game. There's a second grab. Oh, Shock.
First sweep in OW history. If Vancouver somehow turned the tide of the match, but it's not gonna happen that way where the Shock are super healthy and just way more focus fire on it.
Watching ZP, like, what did Treadlock do? He just jumped in, like, on nobody. It was, like, the most passive jump humanly possible. I mean, Vancouver are officially mentally boomed. Like, that was, like, the most conservative, safe Winston jump I have, like...
Shock don't immediately have an ult to throw, but soon Pulse Bomb is going to be on deck. And KSA finds Super. There's a chance with Super out of the fight. It's a 6-on-5. Smurf, though, inside his backline. Yeah, takes down Rolf before Transcendence can be built. Striker just doing whatever he wants in the back, and when people just stop moving, the spirit is broken, Jake.
Striker. Just kill him. As well, early rally from Karkar. Incredibly defensive play. But instant grab on a Shredlock gonna force the trance in the perfect bubble by Smurf. It cuts out the trance. Just stop. Just let him go.
There's no mercy for Shock. None in the least. They make Vancouver waste ultimates. They get the early pickoff. They have the good timing, and I'd say they're already dead, but it
was a decent play to zone out those healers, ensure the fight went well for the rest of the team. But I mean, this is mental boon status. Dalton just in without the rest of his team, you know, dies solo. Shock, they're not giving up anything right now. Choi wants to grab right here. Yep.
Why not exit out through the gates? It's last fight territory anyways, and definitely on the whimper territory here rather than a bang. Time is over. The Shocks.
The Shock, who are poised to make a run as the league's first repeat champions, display just how much skill gap there is in the league between your Titans, a roster of new players, and a San Francisco team that continues to get better through smart roster additions and the ability to adapt to new metas as they come about. Tayo's debut on Genji, although nothing spectacular, fit in with his team's playstyle, allowing him to make effective plays while also ensuring he wasn't feeding the enemy team. As a new kid on the block, he executed his role perfectly and provided excellent support to the veteran efforts of Smurf and Striker. With the Shock having dynamic depth at all positions, it will be interesting to see if they can overcome their faults in the Summer Showdown and put an exclamation mark on a season that for them has them going for the first back-to-back championship in league history. The Titans came out on map 1 with an interesting support lineup, opting to run a Lucio-Moira combo as opposed to the Brigida-Zenyatta combo from the Shock. This support combo has recently seen play, but proved to be hard to keep up with the massive amounts of healing and utility that Brigida-Zenyatta provide. This mismatch in composition ultimately causes the Titans to drop map 1 in the series. We move over to map 2, we see the Titans swap to the Brigida-Zenyatta to match the Shock, but with a dive-heavy comp coming from San Francisco, the Titans were not able to deal with the threat of Smurf and Striker, who were able to neutralize the Titans' backline. The final map of the series played out in a similar fashion, where Smurf was able to utilize Winston to focus down the Titans' backline, leaving the Titans' front line hung out to dry as they could never set up plays the way they wanted. Your Titans seemed paralyzed from the Shock play, however that didn't stop them from learning from this experience as their still very young careers are progressing along. Here's what the coaches had on how the Titans don't need to take the Shock game in a negative way, but how to look at it as another tough love lesson from the Overwatch League.
Just to be straightforward, it was an embarrassing week or stressful, all negative things above. Like we didn't perform the way we wanted to. Like everything was just wrong about that weekend, and I honestly have nothing else other than that to say. That was like how they felt, because it was just all around. Everyone felt pretty disappointed in the team and themselves. So I don't know. I think I would, there's a lot to learn from Shock, I think, or any of like those high caliber teams, like Paris Shock. A lot of the ways they play is like really good to learn off of. But I would say, even again, like always, like after that match, we learned a lot. Even throughout the practice week, learned a lot of what we wanted to add on to as staff. Like little things about players. Like whether it's mental or particular play styles. Like we're learning so much as we go, and I think anytime we get a big match like that, it propels us forward.
Battle of Canada Part 3.
I think I'm excited for that match. I think everybody on the team is like no one wants to have that be like part of your legacy, and I think like coming into the league the way we did, I think it's this improvement is important, and they don't want to. The players, at least themselves, are very motivated to show themselves in this match. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, like I have nothing else to say. I mean, yeah, Battle for Canada Part 3, but like this match, we're looking to do more than just being competitive. I know that's like kind of like the motto, but we want to get that win. We owe it to ourselves.
Your Titans are looking to snap their 4-game skid against the Toronto Defiant in the third installment of the Battle of Canada. In this third iteration for the Battle of Canada, we will be seeing both teams head-to-head using their full integrated rosters. The Toronto Defiant will be running with their newly acquired tank Numlocked and DPS Zik. Numlocked has seen a significant amount of playtime since joining the Toronto Defiant, having solid performances on a variety of tanks, most notably his Reinhardt and Winston. They will look to him to carry the team forward in terms of hero depth, as well as communications and leadership. While Zik has been a great pickup for the Toronto Defiant, the Defiant have the luxury of a deep roster, knowing that agilities and Surefour can start due to the Genji meta. Zik has shown to be able to play a wide range of heroes, most notably running Mei and Echo, But with standout performances from Agilities on Genji during a deep Summer Showdown run, it will be interesting to see what Toronto decides to start with or pivot to as the series goes on. Remember, the current hero pool bans from week 24 and 25 will be removed, which will open up the ability for the Titans to run their successful Orisa composition. With no hero pools, Ana will be back in rotation to synergize with Genji. Teams will be able to run the infamous Nanoblade, which caused headaches for teams to play against in the Summer Showdown, and ultimately was the combination which allowed the Paris Eternal a tournament win. The Defiant, with the likes of Agilities on Genji and a Nano Boost option being available, means your Titans will need to be on full alert to counter. With Dalton running Genji over the last few weeks, we'll keep an eye on his development, and if a possible Titans Nanoblade comp will be seen this weekend. And that's Titans this week. Remember to watch the Titans in the Battle of Canada this Saturday at 2 p.m. I'm your host, Abby Sherlock, and I can't wait to see you back here again for more recaps and analysis of your Vancouver Titans.